back, and I haven't introduced myself to anyone, but my name is Deb, and I have a Rivalry account, and I go by the name of Deb Loves to Knit. It is DEBLUVTOKNIT on Rivalry. I don't have any patterns that I've written. I'm not into that, but I do have a whole lot of free patterns that other people have written, and I have saved them into my library, and you're more than welcome to go and browse in there if you'd like to. I have finished with the gusset of my sock, and I wanted you to take a look at it. I have a total of 34 stitches around the back side and 34 stitches around the instep of the sock. And I wanted to put it on so you could see it. It fits up around my heel. And I'm going to continue just knitting in the round on my circular needles for this sock. And let me get this here so you can see the sock better and not have a whole lot of interference. Bear with me a moment. And it's turning out really well. I'm quite happy with it. Everybody should have a really good upset stomach now with all this tilting and twirling going on. But here is the opening of the sock, and I'm going to continue knitting in the round. And around we're going to go, and we're not going to stop until we get up to the cuff and start doing the knit 2 purl 2 ribbing. I'm going to leave the stitch count now up at 34 in the front and 34 in the back, which is a total of 68 stitches. To begin with, I had 32 stitches on each needle on the circulars. And now I'm going to leave it because a lot of times people's actual ankles are, pretty thick. So it might happen to be tonight because I have got swollen feet. But I wanted to introduce you to this yarn. This is the yarn that I have, and it's the Toe Footsies. And if you notice, it's Southwest Trading Company. It is my very first time of using it. And this yarn is used in the book Socks a la Carte, and I happen to have picked that book up recently at Tuesday mornings, and I absolutely love it. It's just beautiful. I haven't knitted anything out of it yet, but it is a fabulous sock book. I recommend it to anyone. It's very unique. It's nothing that you've ever seen before if you've looked at a lot of sock books, and I have, because I like socks and knitting them. But this is the fiber content on this. And if you notice, it has 50% superwash wool, 25% soy silk fibers, 22.5% cotton, and 2.5% chitin. It's a 100-gram ball. It's 425 yards. It's machine wash and dryable. It is made in China, and it's pronounced Toe Footsies. Now, if you notice here, it says the chitin is fiber from shrimp and crab shells, and it's naturally antibacterial, which is a great thing for those of us who may have stinky feet, or if we knit socks for men that have stinky feet. But as I said in the past video, if you have allergies to shellfish, you may want to be cautious with this just in case. None of us want to go to the emergency room, but for allergy attacks. The other thing that I was thinking of while I was knitting this is that that a lot of knitters are scared of circulars, and that's fine. I was apprehensive at first when I first used DPNs, went from straights to double point needles, and then I was like, circulars. No more dropping needles from my stitches and having to fish my stitches back and going back and hunting for a drop needle that has slid off the stitches. And that's what I really like about knitting with circulars, is whether I'm knitting in the round or just back and two, I'm not losing my needles and going on the great hunting expedition to find them out of the edge of the seat of the chair, the recliner, or under the chair or between the car seat and the console in the car. It just makes needle work much easier when I use my circulars. But I do know that toe-up socks, there's no reason why you cannot knit a toe-up sock with double point needles in the round. You'll start off with 3 DPNs. You will do the magic loop cast on for the toe-up sock on 2 of the DPNs, just like you would with your circular needles. Then you would knit carefully the stitches after they were cast on to begin the toe of your sock. You're going to have to be careful. I have done it, and I had I dropped stitches, I had a time, but it can be done, and it just takes patience and being careful with it. Once you get a couple rounds going, whether it's with double point needles or circulars, everything becomes more easier because you've got something there substantially to work with and hold on to. You would just continue to work knitting in the round with on the toe with your DPNs, and then you would add an additional 4th needle into the picture to knit in the round once you got the toe completed. So, feel free to try toe-up socks with DPNs. For those of you who say, oh, I want to knit a sock, but it looks so hard, this is a basic plain Jane, what they call vanilla sock. There's nothing fancy schmancy to it. It's very, very, very plain. Very simple to do. You will enjoy it. Socks are something that are so portable, and depending upon the type of yarn that you're using also determines how long it takes to knit a sock. I have spent a week on making a pair of socks, and I have knit a pair of socks in 2 days. The ones that I knit in 2 days, I used Red Heart regular yarn, just the regular Red Heart acrylic yarn. Made them for the boys, my boys, to wear around the house during the winter time, and they absolutely loved them. And they knit up quick because, of course, the yarn is thick, and you don't have to use near as many stitches most of the time, and you use a bigger needle than a size 1. And so it goes along really, really quick. So depending upon your gauge, which determines your needle size and your yarn size, all determines how quickly your sock is going to knit up and how quick you're going to be able to produce a pair of socks. Now, the Red Heart socks, I have made a lot of them specifically to wear around the house during the winter time in the house so that my feet are always cold. And I have found that they knit up quickly, they wash up well, and I've actually worn them in my tennis shoes, and they have been comfortable, much to my surprise. I did not think that would be the case. They hold up fairly well. I'm quite pleased with it all. But I did this video just so that you can see it's not rocket science. If you're intimidated by any of it, I would strongly suggest that you start off making a baby sock. I worked for 6 months learning how to knit a sock cuff down. One thing was I didn't know the terminology of a sock, the anatomy of a sock. Look on Pinterest, look online for Google it, anatomy of a sock. Once you see it, save that picture. It has the little arrows and the wording. This is your toe. This is your foot area. And this is the foot area. It's also called the instep. You have the gusset over here on the side, and you have your heel back here, of course. So, when I continue going in the round, I will have the ankle part of it, and then the last part will be the cuff. The toe-up socks, one thing nice about knitting them in the round on circular needles is they are very easy for you to try on as you go along knitting. And that makes it nice. And it also makes it nice when you've got 40 to 47 inches of cable here, because you can adjust everything and you don't have to worry about stitches falling off the needles. But go for it. Jump into it. There's plenty of YouTube videos to show you how to do it. Google help. on knitting a basic sock. They have sock knitting for dummies online. I came across it today on when I googled. It's very, very good with the directions on and the pattern on how to do it. Don't be intimidated by it. You will enjoy it. And like I said, it took me 6 months to figure it out, and part of it was just because I didn't know the anatomy of a sock. So I quit on adult socks, and I thought, well, I'll do baby socks. And then it dawned on me, you know, baby booties and baby socks are the same as adult socks. So I had my aha moment. And we all have our aha moment somewhere along the line. Some of us have it sooner than others, but we do have it. And happy knitting. Enjoy it. This is Deb from Deb's Loves to Knit. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you all in some way. And good luck. And I look forward to seeing your comments and postings of your pictures of your socks. Go for it, ladies. You can do it. And have a great time doing it. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.